This is Ask a Couples Counsellor, a show that answers all the relationship questions you're too afraid to ask. On the show, we'll take your questions and give you the tools you need to build trust and intimacy with your partner. I'm your host, Neha Kapoor. I'm a registered clinical counsellor and psychotherapist, and I'm really passionate about helping couples navigate the challenges that we all go through. Because after all, every relationship encounters some stormy weather now and then. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Ask a Couples Counsellor. If you're tired of surface level advice and ready to face what's really going on beneath your relationship's chaos, this episode is your truth bomb. We're tearing down the cliches and revealing how to find a couples counsellor who doesn't just bandage wounds, but rewires your connection at its core. This isn't about quick fixes or feel-good stuff. It's about raw, unfiltered transformation that demands courage, shakes your foundation, and rebuilds something real. If you want your relationship to not just survive, but explode into its highest potential, this is the episode you cannot afford to miss. All right, let's get into it. Our first question for today comes from Bianca in Sydney. Let's have a listen to Bianca's question.
What questions should we be asking a prospective couples counsellor to work out if they're a good fit for us?
Bianca, when you're searching for a couples counsellor, it's not just about checking credentials or memorizing methods. It's about finding someone who can truly hold the space for both of you. A guide who challenges you in the right ways and moves your unique story forward. So the questions you ask should cut through the noise and reveal whether this person understands the complexity of your connection. Ask yourself, how do they view conflict? Do they see it as a breakdown or as a doorway to deeper understanding? Because the right counselor won't just focus on what you fight about, but how you fight, helping you uncover patterns instead of pointing fingers. Consider how they navigate power imbalances. Because every relationship has its unequal dynamics, and a skilled therapist will recognize these, creating a safe, equitable space where both voices can truly be heard and honored. Reflect on their philosophy around emotional vulnerability. Are they encouraging you both to show up authentically, or are they rushing to fix things? Because real healing only happens when vulnerability is embraced, not avoided. Think about how they handle the inevitable reality that sometimes one partner is more engaged than the other. Because a great counselor knows how to keep the less involved partner connected without pushing too hard or losing the commitment of the invested one. You'll want to clarify on their boundaries around confidentiality and neutrality, because your trust depends on their integrity. So the therapist's ability to hold the process without taking sides can make or break your journey. So ask how they tailor their approach to your relationship's unique nuances, rather than relying on cookie-cutter formulas or one-size-fits-all approaches. Your story isn't a textbook case, and your counselor should see that. And don't hesitate to ask for a moment when couples resisted their help yet still changed. That reveals experience, patience, and the capacity to hold space even when it's tough. From what I've witnessed firsthand working with hundreds of couples, it's this rare blend of emotional intelligence, unwavering integrity, and deeply personalized care that makes all the difference. Because the counselor who meets you exactly where you are, holds your vulnerabilities without judgment, and pushes you gently towards growth, this is the person who doesn't patch up your relationship, but transforms it. Because your relationship deserves that level of depth, that fierce commitment. So don't just settle for anything less. Because when therapy truly fits, it doesn't just save a relationship, it changes lives. I hope that answers your question, Bianca. Our second question for today comes from John in Perth. Let's have a listen to John's question.
What exactly does a couples counsellor do?
John, at its core, a couples counselor is a qualified mental health professional who specializes in helping couples navigate the complexities of their relationship. They do this by using evidence-based therapeutic techniques. They guide you to see your relationship clearly beyond surface-level conflicts, blame, or frustration. Their role is to help uncover underlying patterns, unspoken emotions, and unresolved wounds that often keep couples stuck in cycles of disconnection. But here's the thing, not all couples counselors work the same way. Some might focus on communication skills, others dive deep into attachment styles or trauma. And some take a solution-focused approach, while others explore the emotional landscape with raw vulnerability. So there's no one-size-fits-all in this work because every couple, every story, and every challenge is unique. So here's what I've learned through years of experience and training. The most powerful healing happens when therapy is tailored, when it meets you exactly where you are without judgment and pushes you gently towards growth with empathy and clarity. So my style blends trauma-informed insight, emotional intelligence, and a no-nonsense commitment to truth. I don't just help you talk about your issues. I help you understand the emotional currents running beneath the surface. And I hold space for your pain, but also challenge the stories you tell yourselves that keep you stuck. And working with me means embracing vulnerability without losing your strength, learning how to truly see and hear each other, and rewriting your relationship story with compassion and intention. So this work isn't about perfection or quick fixes. It's about transformation, and that transformation happens when you're ready to do the real work and when you choose connection over fear, and growth over blame, and healing over avoidance. That's what a couples counselor does, and that's how I do it. I hope that answers your question, John. Our next question for today comes from Sophia in Sydney. Let's have a listen to Sophia's question.
How do I know if couples counselling is working?
How do you know if couples counselling is actually working? Well, it's more than just fewer fights or checking a box on did we make progress. So real change shows up in the small, often quiet shifts, the way you start to listen differently, how vulnerability replaces defensiveness, or when you catch yourself choosing connection over conflict. Professionally, I watch for changes in how couples communicate, how safe they feel to express their true selves, and whether they're gaining tools to manage old patterns that keep them stuck. So progress isn't always linear. It's messy, sometimes slow, and that's normal. But when both partners are willing to reflect, take responsibility, and show up even when it's uncomfortable, that's where transformation happens. Personally, I've seen couples come in feeling like strangers, exhausted by the weight of unresolved pain, and leave with renewed respect, a deeper understanding, and the courage to keep building together. If your counseling feels like it's opening doors rather than closing them, making space for honest conversations rather than shutting them down, and sparking hope rather than despair, you're on the right track. And at the end of the day, counseling works when it shifts your relationship from surviving to thriving. And when both of you start choosing each other, not because you have to, but because you want to. I hope that answers your question, Sophia. Our last question for today comes from Ronaldo in Sydney. Let's have a listen to Ronaldo's question.
Are there situations you won't help with?
Ronaldo, the honest truth is yes. And it's not about judgment. It's about safety, readiness, and respect for the healing process. I won't step into a relationship where one or both partners are actively abusive, whether that's physical, emotional, or psychological. Healing can't begin if safety isn't established first. My role isn't to police or rescue. It's to guide couples who are genuinely ready to engage in honest work together. If someone is using counseling as a weapon to manipulate, control, or avoid responsibility, then it's not the right fit. Because true growth demands courage and vulnerability, not games or denial. I'm here for the couples who own their part, even when it's painful, and who show up willing to listen, change, and rebuild. Also, when addiction or severe mental health issues are involved, my approach is to collaborate with specialists because complex challenges require comprehensive care. And couples therapy isn't a one-size-fits-all magic fix. And knowing when to refer is part of responsible practice. So personally, I respect the boundaries I set because they protect everyone's well-being, including my own. And when a couple is ready to meet me halfway with honesty and openness, that's where the real lasting transformation begins. And if you're not there yet, that's okay. Because sometimes the best thing is to wait, heal individually, and then come back stronger. So I won't help with everything, but I will show up fiercely for those committed to change, respect, and real connection. I hope that answers your question, Ronaldo. Thanks for riding this wave with me today. Over the years, working with hundreds of couples and facing my own relationship storms, I've learned one undeniable truth. Real change isn't comfortable, and it's never neat. It's messy, raw, and fiercely honest. Finding the right counsellor isn't about ticking boxes. It's about finding someone who can hold your truth without flinching and challenge you to grow when you'd rather shut down. That's what I strive to be for the couples I work with, and what I hope you'll demand for yourselves. Remember, your relationship deserves nothing less than fierce commitment, bold honesty, and real transformation. Until next time, keep showing up, keep fighting for your connection, and never settle for anything less than what sets your soul on fire. All right, that's it for today. And before I go, if you have any burning questions you want answered, send them to novoempowercounselling@gmail.com. Let's navigate this journey together because better relationships start with understanding. I can't wait to hear from you. You've been listening to Ask a Couples Counsellor, a show that answers all the relationship questions you're too afraid to ask. This show is produced by Novo Empower Counselling. We provide a range of services, including couples counselling, individual counselling, and online counselling. To find out more, visit our website novoempowercounselling.com.au. This show was produced with strategy and production support from Wavelength Creative. To make sure you don't miss an episode of Ask a Couples Counsellor, be sure to subscribe to or follow the show in your podcast app. And while you're there, I'd love it if you could leave me a 5-star review. It really helps others find the show. I'm your host, Neha Kapoor, and I'll see you in the next episode.